All right, so this was one of the most confusing things to figure out with starting my digital marketing agency, and that is what software do I use for sales and actually completing the sale, getting the clients to start paying my company every single month for services. Hey there, my name is Matt Wacek and welcome to my YouTube channel. So today we're going to be getting into just exactly as the title describes, and that is what softwares do you use for the sales process in your digital marketing agency. So whether you're selling website design, SEO, pay-per-click ads, maybe you do Facebook ads, maybe you do something completely different, but you're still offering a service to a client and you're going to be selling to them either via phone call or some type of video chat conference, you'll absolutely want to pay attention to this video because this will save you a ton of time because you'll know exactly what to use. So we're going to be going over exactly what I use in my agency, Landscape Marketing Pros. We're doing at the moment about $26,000 in monthly recurring revenue, and I've been able to grow that from absolute $0 in recurring revenue starting just last year, early 2021, signed my first clients, and then be able to really scale pretty rapidly over the past year and a half. Now, guys, briefly before we begin, I want to just make one short announcement because so many of you guys have been reaching out on Instagram via DMs, in our Facebook group, here on YouTube in the comment section, asking when I'm going to release some type of formal training regarding how I actually was able to build my digital marketing agency and continue to scale and keep clients on board for multiple months, if not multiple years now at this point. And so the wait for that is almost over. And I've created a VIP wait list for those interested in actually getting access to this training. I'd highly suggest going down below. It's the first link in the description as well as the pinned comment beneath the video. And so what you want to do is go there, enter your email, make sure to look out for any emails that come from me. And once I open enrollment, that is the first spot that I will go to announce the opening. And then all the other platforms like YouTube, the Facebook group, and everything else like that will receive the information afterwards. You want to get onto that list as soon as you can because there will be bonuses that are only available to those first few people that do enroll in the program when it is released. And if you're watching this 1 month or 6 months or something like that from now, the training's probably already available, so be sure to check the links in the description as well as the pinned comment. But without further ado, let's hop into the sales software training. I've been able to grow this business from effectively $0 with a very simple setup when it comes to the actual funnel and the sales process in terms of what is used. And so what you'll need to do first off is get a website domain for your marketing company that you have. So if yours is, I don't know, Triton Marketing or something like that, whatever the name is, what I'd highly suggest doing is find some type of niche to serve, some type of industry. I did a video on that a little while back. I'll link it below or one of those cards up above. But go and watch that video, figure out the type of industry you want to serve, and then get really good at 1 to 2, maybe 3 different services and just focus solely on that and get clients with it. And the beauty of that is that it becomes a rinse and repeat system for every client that comes on board. You then know when to get predictable results like with SEO and so forth. And it's just a whole lot more profitable because things are streamlined compared to being a generalist working with HVAC contractors, roofers, remodeling companies, driveway contractors, dentists, all just sorts of stuff across the board. Just pick one niche and stick with it. So then what you want to do is have, of course, a website. So just get regular hosting. I recommend getting SiteGround. We have that link down below. There's a whole guide with a bunch of different resources for services that we use and recommend. And then go and get Google Workspace, specifically getting an email at your company's domain name. So that way you're an actual real person. It looks professional. You're not using a Gmail account. Yes, I know people that have Gmail accounts with businesses in the offline space that do millions upon millions of dollars using just a regular Gmail account with a number in it to add to that. But get that set up. It's very, very affordable. It's like $15 a month or something like that per email account. Just get it and just get it all set up. Find someone on Fiverr if you need help hooking up the DNS records, all that sort of stuff in the back end. And that way you stand out as a more professional company. All right, so we have a domain, we have a website, we have hosting and all that set up, and we have at your domain email. What's the next step? So you need to build out your website. So what I've highly recommend using is Elementor Pro. I highly recommend that because it costs hardly anything. It's like $50 a year with a 1 website subscription. So much better than ClickFunnels. ClickFunnels is fine for what its purpose is, but if you're building a website like an agency, you want to have the flexibility. And in my opinion, Elementor Pro is the best way to go about it. I would highly recommend staying away from Go High Level. I tried it out. I was not a fan of it in the least bit. I was able to accomplish in a much faster timeline with Elementor Pro on a WordPress website than I was able to figure out within a whole day wasted screwing around with Go High Level. Yes, it has the CRM and all that sort of stuff, but I mean, we can accomplish that with a couple other softwares. So the next step though is once we build out the website, we're gonna need is some type of video editing software. So the one that I use for most of my videos here on my personal channel as well as on my agency's channel is Camtasia. It's very, very affordable, $100 for the actual purchase, and I think like $50 a year or something like that for their maintenance package. And so So this allows you to record your screen and then also record yourself, record the audio, sync it all together. I actually use a Canon camera. Of course, I got the lighting and whatnot. You don't need this to get started, but just have your phone. If you're watching this, you probably have a phone, Android, iPhone. You can film 1080p with those phones and record that. I did that for lots and lots of videos here on this channel and my agency's channel. And what you want to be doing is creating content that basically is discussing what your services are and the benefits of them, at least when you're getting started. You probably don't have any testimonials or results to show off or anything like that. And that's exactly what I did. I shared insight about the services that my company offers and what the benefits are, and just tips and tricks and that sort of stuff that may help some of the guys that watch it. And so when it comes to actually titling some of these videos, what I would highly suggest doing is going to using just keywords everywhere or whatever search keyword tool you want to use, and research the keywords that have lots of traffic. Let's say it's moving companies that you're going to work for, moving company marketing ideas, something like that. And you give a video, top 5 moving company marketing ideas, and you give them the ideas, which of course the top couple ones of those are going to be a website and SEO if that's what you're selling. And that's just one that kind of came to mind really quickly, but hopefully this kind of gets your brain running and not thinking of what you could create for content. Because if I go through this notebook right here, where I have basically all the details of every single strategy session that I've had with a prospect, where I was basically write down their answers to the questions that I ask as I follow through with my script. And the first thing that I ask them before we even get into the whole call is, hey, how did you find us? And the vast majority, probably 75% to 80%, it's either Google search or I found you guys on YouTube. So that traffic coming in cost me $0. I didn't have to spend any money on ads. There was no crazy $20 cost per click to get them coming in. They already know who my agency is because they came to the website, they saw the YouTube video, they saw the channel. So just get started with it now. I promise you, if you keep at it consistent, 1 year from now, your life could completely change like mine has. So will it turn into $20,000 in monthly recurring revenue next week? Probably not. I actually almost guarantee that it won't. But this is something that builds a foundation because you're building a brand, you're building that legacy effect that's just going to snowball. But this can turn into a very nice, sustainable, recurring revenue business over the next 6 months, 12 months, even 24 months, where you have tons and tons of leads coming in that you can convert and eventually be at a point where you're like, well, I just want to raise prices because I want to make more money. We got all this demand from all these clients all over the place across the country. Let's just raise prices. Why not? So that's the position that I'm in right now, which is really cool to have finally reached this point. But anyways, get out there on YouTube, get these first things going. And now the next part we're going to get into is related to the actual sales conversation. All right, so the next step is once we have the traffic coming into our website or we have our YouTube channel, or ideally both kind of working. If you want to go the route of running ads, if you have skill set in that, you want to spend the money on that traffic, then by all means go ahead. But so the next step is to figure out how are we actually going to conduct our sales conversations. Now, years back, you'd probably do this on the phone. Nowadays, in my opinion, there's no better way than Zoom and then have it integrated with Calendly. So for example, when a prospect comes to my agency's website, they go over to Get Started and they will come here. And essentially, it's just a quick sales funnel right here. Of course, we have the headline and all that. I have a video sales letter. It's like 37 minutes long. And then right below here, they can select a date and a time, and then they answer some questions, and then they can actually book the strategy session right there. And it's very, very simple because then they'll get an instant email notification for when the meeting is. They'll get 3 to 4 emails before the call happens, so that way they know when to show up. It's got the link for them to join the Zoom meeting. And if you have questions on figuring out how to integrate those two softwares together, I would just recommend going to both their websites. It'll make it very easy to do all that. And these two softwares here are $25 or $30 a month for both of them. So very, very, very affordable, especially when we look at the upside, because we can close clients on the call and have money coming in within the same few minutes. So highly recommend going the route of connecting Zoom with Calendly and get that going. Do not put a contact form on your website and say, hey, we'll return back with a proposal. I did that because I was afraid to talk to people because I didn't know what to say when I was actually on the call or on the video chat. And so what would happen is contacts or leads would come in, they'd submit their contact form or contact info. I'd send them a proposal and I'd never hear back. And this was for just low ticket stuff. This was for just like a $500 website build. And I couldn't even get that. That's why I was trying to build this business and struggled from 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20. So when things kind of started to get some momentum in 2021, doing a little bit better. And then 2022, obviously, I mean, I don't want to say crushing it, but doing very, very well. The margin on $26,000 a month with the way I have things set up is awesome. So when it comes to that, do not make the mistake I did with the contact form, all that sort of stuff. And you'll notice on my agency's website, there's no phone number or email or anything like that. I want the prospects to come through and fall into our frame of how we do sales conversations by going and booking a call. Even if someone calls, leaves a voicemail to like the Google Voice number that I have, or if they are or somehow figure out the email, I don't even bother replying because they're not going to have enough interest. Every single time I've ever had someone call, leave a voicemail to the Google Voice number, send an email, send a social media message, and I follow up with them, they never come back and book the call. Some might, but it's very, very low. It's probably less than 10%. So just have this in place. Have that be the only method they can get in touch with you if they are a prospect. And I promise it will work better because they'll respect your time more because they know that they can't reach you at the beck and call of being a potential prospect. So there's something to be said about being able to just not be that accessible. I think it's probably one of the best ways to go about with your business, at least with a digital marketing agency, and not having the chat widgets or anything like that on your website unless it's something fully automated. Okay, so now we have software set up for actually getting the leads and have them book a call. Then what is the next step that we need to do from there? And so that's going to be getting a software that allows us to create sales agreements and proposals, ideally all in the same document, and making it so that they can sign digitally and you can actually show this to them on the call, send that to them while you're in the Zoom room talking with them, and they can sign digitally right there at the bottom. And then ideally connect it in with your payment processor with a link to a payment subscription that they can set up. They can click right there from the document and close right there. And so what I've actually been doing is when I get to the close, and by the way, the bottom of the document is where they sign digitally. We have links to the Stripe checkout with a subscription setup. And Stripe actually makes this very easy to set up. You just go to more and then just go to payment links. And so you just set up subscription payment links, take the link, put that into text saying subscribe to this particular service program. And on the call, what I'll do is as I'm closing them, I'll open that link and it'll take them obviously right on the screen. They can see, hey, we're in the Stripe checkout. And I'll say, all right, the investment is $17.50 a month. Would you like to get started right now? Or would you be opposed to getting started right now? That actually has worked tremendously. What will happen is they'll either just read me their card or they'll just pull it up on their computer and enter it in as they're doing it right there. But bottom line, I want them to close on the call because I found the vast majority of the time when they leave, they don't come back. They just don't. And whether I didn't do a good enough job during the sales conversation of kind of exacerbating their pain points, but either way, I found just if I can get them to close on the call, it's just so much better because then they get signed up. They're way more excited. They're booked the onboarding call, kickoff call, and it's all good from there. But so what I would recommend is just going getting PandaDoc. It's like $50-$60 a month. The way that I have it structured is a cover page with company name, like contact info, and then below that is a page. It's basically just says client references or client testimonials, client references, and we have each one of the videos that clients have created for us. That's right on there. And then we get into the service programs, what's all involved, and then the pricing for those, and then of course terms and agreement and all that. And then down below, they sign digitally, and then there's the buttons to go to the Stripe checkout. Very simple process, like 5 or 6 pages. So again, very, very simple and streamlined. We want to make it easy for them to do business with us. Okay, so the final set of tools are actually going to be related to retargeting ads, or even if you are going to be doing cold traffic ads, and that's just going to be kind of video creation. I know I mentioned Camtasia and so forth, but some of the tools that I recommend for the actual retargeting and ad creation, you're going to want a tool like Zubtitle and WeVideo for creating the video. Zubtitle is a software. It's like $19 a month. Allows you to create captions with different colors on it. Yeah, you could probably do that on Camtasia, but this is an easy process because it has whatever tech that it can actually create the captions for you for the video when you upload it, and you might have to do a little bit of editing with the wording, but really good software. It's very, very affordable. And then WeVideo, I believe, I don't remember the exact price. It's very cheap. I wouldn't have it if it was really expensive because I hardly use it, but this allows you to kind of create more dynamic videos, just kind of cool editing and whatnot. And again, very, very affordable for that. And then Vimeo, which is only about $12 a month for hosting the videos. Have these videos on our website, and I prefer having those videos instead of YouTube because I can control what they see after the video ends. I'd rather have them just have nothing there and keep them on my agency's website as opposed to a YouTube video and then one of the recommended videos based on them as a user on YouTube shows up, and then they go get distracted watching some video about whatever it is they're interested in instead of staying on my agency's website and going booking a call. So then the other thing is actually going to be Canva. So it's like $13 a month, and it's going to allow you to create YouTube thumbnails, Facebook and other social media cover photos, and just a whole bunch of different photo editing and capabilities. And it's a very simple software to use and just design things. Very, very affordable software to use. and highly recommend that stack for just creating the videos and editing them, putting all the subtitles on. They're going to be a little more dynamic than, say, the traditional subtitles that are going to show up on a video that Facebook has in an ad. Of course, when it comes to a payment processor, I recommend Stripe. It's probably one of the simplest ones out there. PayPal is good. There are a whole bunch of other ones out there as well, but I found with the payment links in the payment subscription, all that stuff, being able to set those up, Stripe has been the easiest one to work with so far, and I like the interface, and it's just a good software all around to use. So that is the whole stack of software that I use on the sales side of my agency when it comes to getting leads, getting traffic to come to my agency's website to then book a call. We get them on the call. We ideally convert them and they purchase right then and there on the call, and they can actually book a kickoff call, which again uses Zoom integrated with Calendly to book that. And that's where we do the onboarding, and then we get all the information for the website access credentials, Google Ad accounts, all that sort of good stuff. If you have questions on any of the software that I mentioned in this video, be sure to go down below, leave a comment. I try to answer all the ones that do come through. And also, if you like this, be sure to go down below, drop a like on this video. Be sure to subscribe so we know when all of the newest content comes live. I have a lot of stuff on the way, and that leads into, of course, the VIP waitlist. If you guys want to get access to the formal training once it is released, go down below in the description or the pinned comment, join the waitlist, and that way you'll be the first to know when enrollment does open up. And at the time that I'm filming this, it's the very beginning of August, so look for 2 to 4 weeks for that timeline for when that's going to be opened up. And that'll be the first place that I do announce enrollment opening, so you want to be on that list so that way you guys get access to the bonuses that are only going to be available to the first few that do enroll when things are all open. So drop a like, subscribe, hit the bell for notification, VIP waitlist down below. If you're watching this 2, 3, 4 months, 5 months in the future, 6 months, a year, whatever it is, it'll probably already be out, so that'll be linked in the description or the pinned comment down beneath the video. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.